Test. We're just turned way down there. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Maybe just a bit more. Test, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2. Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MicroCinema 4K. I'm Jason, and we got some more slides, some more critters for you this week. This week I was on a work trip in Indiana. I was out there in a little town called Greenfield, which is a pretty small town outside of Indianapolis. It's about a 30 or 40 minute drive outside of Indianapolis. And on Friday, which is the last day I was there, I decided to tour around and find some swampy, pondy places. And I actually found a couple places. One was just kind of a pond at like a normal family park. And then I found this kind of interesting place as well, which was sort of almost like a swamp that was like right next to the business that I was out visiting. Kind of like a wooded swamp. And it was just a small little area with trees, and just the land was real low and marshy and swampy. So I got a collection from there as well. And then earlier today, I just went up, did a quick little trip up just into the Santa Cruz Mountains. And let's see, I picked up some pond water there, which didn't really have too much. I did make a slide from it. It was just mostly like water fleas and whatnot. And then I got some moss as well. And so we should have some tardigrades tonight. No guarantees on if they're moving, but I got some tardigrades and other moss critters. So without further ado, let's start off with our first slide here, which kind of as promised in the title is leeches. Let's go. So we are in Darkfield here, and these leeches, I actually found them in the pond at that family park that I mentioned. And I didn't really find too much else in that sample. But a good haul of leeches. Hey, Andy. Good to see you, man. And then also there's a large stenostomum worm on here too. I grabbed it was around. So it was interesting. Yeah, I got these leeches, and leeches are always just like they're such a pain in the butt to get onto a slide. They will stick pretty aggressively to the pipette. I actually have, I think on one of my pipettes, there's still a leech like hanging on the inside of it. Once you get it up into like the into the tube of the pipette, they can just like anchor there, and then that's it. It's done. So you're never getting them out. But anyway, yeah. So I had to I basically like pre-wrangled these guys into a small little dish, and then from that small little dish, wrangled them onto a slide, and that was it was a real snafu, let me tell you guys. And yeah, Andy's asking kind of what's the slide situation here. So this is it's a deep well slide, not a super deep well slide, just one of my kind of slightly depressed slides. and then on the on either side, I've actually got 2.17 cover glasses, kind of sandwiched with some Vaseline. Oh, I got some pretty like colors going on here. That's nice. That's cool. I don't have any polarizing optics in or anything like that, so that's some kind of fun little rainbow effect there. See? Yeah, look at that. That's pretty. Wow. Okay, sorry. Leeches, yes. Ooh, there's like a little pediastrum there. Nice. Yeah, this turned into a real fight to get this slide right, and I got all the leeches on there, and then they all balled up like this. They seem to have a real affinity for each other, and yeah, they all decided to clump up like this. And it's not like it's not even the deepest part of the well or anything. They just balled up like this, and that's that. So it's kind of a little disappointed that they're not like, moving around so much. Watching these leeches go around can be pretty exciting. They are very, very stretchy. But yeah, we got them anyway, and they're still really cool to look at. So right now I'm using a dark field condenser, and we have not used polarized light yet, but we absolutely will. And that's because leeches are really incredible to view in polarized light. And that's because they have just really, really intricate and an extensive musculature. In fact, the first time that I watched leeches on the stream under polarized light, I was like, oh my gosh, like they must just be like pure muscle. And it's not, there's obviously some other stuff in there too, but they really are, they have a significant muscle mass, and the muscles that they have like crisscross in different directions. They have like layers and layers of muscles. And with polarized light, which are always kind of like, the goal, the sort of holy grail for polarized light is having structures that go like all in one direction. And so when you have these layers of muscles that go in lots of different directions, that can turn into some pretty cool effects. So I will go ahead. Ooh, look at that. Brightness change there. Woke them up a little bit. I might try to experiment with that a little bit more, try to leverage that. So here we go. This is polarized dark field. Right now I'm using a 2x objective, and you can see already with just this simple polarizing setup that there's a lot of cool stuff going on with them. Let's zoom in a little bit here with the 4x objective, and so you can see like across the body there, like there are like striations, and then you might be able to see when they bend in other ways that there's like counter striations. Whoa, this one's on the move. Hey. And then when they stretch out, the polarization effect changes pretty dramatically. And this is why I really love watching leeches under polarized light. And so of course, what we like to do around here, we like to hit them with a wave plate a little bit, sprinkle in a little bit of color, and there you go. And it's just really unreal. And like here, when you like use the wave plate, you can just see how intricate, how complex the polarization response of these things is. Oh, look at that. Oh, that blue is going wild. Okay, watch your eyes. I'm gonna blast them with light again, just to try to get them to move. Let's just see if it, oh wait, no, that's not gonna work. That's the upper polarizer, which they will not know that has changed. There we go. All right, let's hit them with some light, because it did seem to kind of wake them up a little bit. And maybe they'll sort of untangle themselves. Yeah. Nice. And again, here we are using the 2x objective. These things are quite large. You can definitely see them. You don't need a microscope to see the leeches. And let's go ahead and start playing with the wavelengths again. And I'm using a piece of plexiglass here to kind of get some effects. And this gives me different effects than I would usually get with cellophane, which is like my go-to. And so this is cool. This is kind of you guys know that I like the green purple. This is more like a blue green, like baby blue in there. That's pretty cool. And this is pretty much why I wanted to like look at the leeches, you know, is because I can just kind of go nuts on the colors here. I can just turn this until I find something that I rather like. There's kind of purple green there, so I can kind of still get that with this one. But it's ever so slightly different. And one thing I learned about leeches from one of our Discord friends, one of the Sumi, the guy that runs there's like a general microscopy Discord. They're big into worms and leeches and whatnot. And apparently leeches are very protective parents. They will sometimes when they have young, they will sort of pancake over top of them with their bodies and sort of like suction down onto the substrate and kind of protect their young beneath them. And as I was saying before, these things really are, oh, that's cool. It's lapping. As I was saying before, you know, these things have a ton of muscle, and like for their size, I mean, they really do put up a good fight when you're trying to like manipulate them and stuff. They are, I'm always a little worried that I'm gonna like hurt them as I'm like poking them with the the pipette and stuff, but I really don't think that's actually terribly likely, just because they really are very sturdy. This is with the 10x here. Yeah, and it's just pretty fascinating. Look at that. Like some kind of flow going on there, kind of underneath their membrane. Maybe they, I don't know. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, let's try, go for some more. Let's see if we can change up our effects a little bit. So I can try stuff. I can like turn the polarizer one way. Ooh, I've always liked this. This, sort of orange and blue here. This has always been a really cool effect. They're still, they're kind of unwinding a little bit. Whoa, look at this one. Stretched out and flattened. Oh, it's recoiling now. And you can see there's an interesting thing. That's probably a pretty easy like piece of anatomy to identify there. That kind of elongated bit right behind the head could just be like a pharynx, but I'm not sure. But you can see it's quite distinctly different. It's got the muscles oriented in a different direction compared to everything else. And something else worth mentioning about leeches is that not all leeches are blood-sucking leeches. Leeches are just kind of a form factor of worm. They've got the suckers on their rear end, like this, that they can use to anchor to stuff, and then they can use their mouth to suction as well. And so when you're trying to move them around on the slide, like typically they don't like to. They'll always have one end suctioned on, which is one thing that makes them difficult to manipulate. Wow. But there's nothing, I've never found any other organism that has such a striking polarization response. Just the tiger stripes that are showing up here and everything. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, and then here's that stenostomum, which looks like it's dividing, which is kind of cool. And it looks like it's splitting up there. But you can see the stenostomum just doesn't have that same kind of musculature. It's a flatworm, and it's got very different stuff going on anatomically. Let's give him another blast of light here. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got you. Okay. And now we'll put this back on. Turning this. That's nice too. This is kind of, this is a little, wow. It's a little like closer. So the polarizer isn't, is like aggressively crossed now. And so it's not, like I'm getting a little bit more just like regular light, but with just a little hint. What happened to my Spotify here? It just didn't want to play that song. Okay. Oh my gosh. And just look at, there's so much stuff going on inside of there too. You can see, like, I guess that's the intestine kind of coiling around in there. Wow. You're just so cool. Ooh, this one's doing this little dance here. I've noticed they do that as well. Their little, I guess they're doing the worm, which is apropos, I suppose. And yeah, they definitely do not mind getting snuggly with each other. Swirling all together. I do get the sense that they are kind of, there's more going on here than, kind of your typical microbe. Oh, this is so neat. I've got, you guys can't see it. There's a, I have basically like a graph that shows me kind of the exposure of the scene currently, just so I can kind of keep track, make sure that I'm exposing well. It's like a waveform, and as this thing is undulating here, that waveform is also undulating. It looks very like it's very trippy. It looks like a music visualization. It was kind of rocking with the beat there for a little bit. Wow. Okay, let's see, what else can we do? I kind of want to practice hitting some other colors. So I'm gonna go out of dark field here and just use a low power condenser. Let's see, let's push this in. Let's go away from here. Let's just raise this up until we get our curler. Yep. Okay, get that nice and centered. Drop it away. Oh, that's right. Okay. And out here, turn it way down. Now I've got a just a low power condenser in here. Whoa. That's kind of a mood right there. A little bit of a lavender background. But okay, let's first cross this, get maximum extinction, and we'll figure out where we want to turn this. We'll add a little bit in, and then we'll maybe we'll go back to our cellophane here. It's kind of cool, but I do like it's a little elusive, but like if I get it just right, I can kind of get it to go red in the background, like a deep red. This is close. More of a pink there. Wow, it's got some neat, are hitting some neat colors there. They kind of remind me of like fishing lures or something. I'm gonna give them another light blast here. Well, close your eyes. Okay. There we go. Just to stir them up a little bit. Stir the pot. So this is the yellow. This is another cool one that you can hit. Ooh, there we go. Oh yeah, we got the red. Quite. That's pretty close. Pretty close to what I'm going for. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one's neat because it has like these like white highlights. And sometimes you hit. These are kind of like bluish white. Like most stuff is like dark, and then gosh, it would probably take quite an effort to really thoroughly understand all the interactions here. But yeah, you can see, hopefully you can appreciate how I might find myself looking at these things for quite a long time, messing around. Wow. Just it's endless possibilities. Oh wow, these guys, yeah, they're really lighting up. Yeah, these are similar to the planaria too, where they clearly, they don't seem to run away from the light as much. Wow, look at that. It's like stretched just in the exact correct way right now. Hello. No, run away. Too bright. I turn this. Look at that. We get orange. Got an orange mode here. Pretty cool. Pop. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Yeah. We like you, the lychee. Okay. Well, we spent 30 minutes looking at these leeches, and I could probably spend 30 more minutes doing that, but we got some more slides to check out tonight. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to look at next. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll check out our little tardigrade slide here. Tardigrades and other stuff as well. Okay, let's get this back in focus. Oh, there's a tardigrade, and it's not moving. I see another one. Ooh, this I guess this is a 4X. Okay. I'm gonna go back to, I'm gonna make a few changes here, because since we don't have super big specimens anymore, I think I can go back to, we'll start with, yeah, no, we'll do it. We'll do some polarized dark field. Just gonna move this, move that. Polarized dark field has worked well in the past for us when we've been looking at tardigrades. Come down just like that. Hey, there's one. Oh, and there's another one. Okay, good deal. And then the other thing I'm going to do is switch out my objectives. I was using my kind of low power turret. Oh, and we will switch to the big guns. Go. And boom. Excellent. This until we're maximum right up there. And so yeah, we got ourselves a tardigrade. So the moss that I collected today, there's several different, there's a little bit of rock moss in there, and there's like a few different types of tree moss. It's been pretty chilly. It's pretty chilly up in the Santa Cruz Mountains right now. And it's also been pretty damp. And so it'd be kind of interesting to see. One thing I did notice is that I didn't get like tons of tardigrades this time. A lot of times I get lots and lots of tardigrades when I collect from these areas. And this time I didn't. I didn't get lots and lots of them. Just a few. But at least most of them seem to be a little more active than they can sometimes be. Ooh, here's a few. Yeah. Tardigrades have a pretty decent response in polarized light, especially their stylet, which contains like mineralized calcium. And so that shows up nice and bright. And then whatever this guy's been eating, also, it's got some nice mineralization going on in there. And we got this little one here. And of course we can add some colors here, although I guess it's not really, yeah, there's not as much going on. Some of them have more, I don't know, more of like a musculature response than others, it seems like. We got a nematode. I did, one thing I did today, I thought about trying to do it at the beginning, but it was just a little too much for today. But I was looking at these critters, or I was looking at the moss with my stereoscope, and I actually was able to see I wasn't able to see any tardigrades, but I was able to see nematodes. I saw some nematodes sort of like flapping around. They're adhering to the moss, but sort of flapping their bodies out, which was kind of weird, kind of unsettling, honestly, to see the nematodes sort of just kind of waggling around in the air. All right, let's go to DIC. We'll change a few things here. Put in our DIC intermediate slider. Like that. And we will put in our DIC condenser. There we go. And we will take this thing away. That bad boy in. And then switch over to this. Oh, why am I on that lens? And then we will roll this up. Go down to here. There we go. Bueno. And there we go. Doing our thing. Oh. Why is that being weird? Okay. Stage was being a little squirrely there. Hey, there we go. Here we go. We got that. And now I can see a little tardy. Hi Nathan, welcome in. Yeah, the nematodes are always dancing. Hey, and there we go. We got some rotifers in this moss extraction as well. Excellent. Ooh, lots of rotifers of various shapes and sizes. And there's our chunkier tardigrades. Change to the 20x lens here. This way down. Pretty good view of the pharynx in there. The kind of circular, sort of elliptical shaped thing behind the stylet. Oh, and then yeah, I found a lot of these. Yeah, these are little cyanobacteria colonies here. Maybe those might be nostoc colonies. I found a whole bunch of these in kind of hanging around at the bottom of the extraction, which is interesting. Not something I super regularly get. Guys, just poking around. I don't think it, it's not green inside, so I kind of suspect it doesn't eat this stuff. And I still have yet to actually see a tardigrade eat anything. And they just generally kind of plod around. But, you know, okay. At least it's moving. Where were this other dude? They were like up here somewhere. That's the same one I was thinking it was. Oh, we got the rotifer. Key on down. Yeah, here's more. That looks like something maybe different. And we got some. Wow, that's different too. We got a lot of like, look to be like colonial bacteria. Little like enveloped colonies in this. Yeah, there's something too. Probably there's a book called Bryophyte Ecology. I could probably learn a little bit about those in that book. Pretty active little rotifer here. And oh, there's a good sized nematode there. Yeah, this might have been like the kind that I was seeing kind of flapping around when I was looking at the moss. I do remember the distinctly tapered posterior there. Yeah, they never, well, rarely ever sit still. That's for sure. Oh, this looks like a little, this is cyanobacteria as well. A lot of good cyanobacteria in this sample. Ooh. Oh, here was a chunky tardigrade. And a rotifer. this guy's scrambling a little bit here. Pretty active for a tardigrade. Super deep blue here. Oh, also, this is totally unrelated, but it was a significant moment in my life, so I want to share it with you all. When I was in Indiana this week, I attended a Waffle House for the first time in my life. And I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. I'm a fan. It was pretty cheap for quite a lot of food. And it was darn good. Certainly better than like IHOP or Denny's or something like that. Staff was friendly. It was a good vibe. Good vibe inside. You know, I did not go at like, it wasn't like a 2 a.m. Waffle House like you see on Reddit or something like that, you know. It wasn't, nobody was wilding. It was just a nice time. Nice place to go for some breakfast. And unfortunately, there are precisely 0 Waffle Houses in the great state of California. I feel like it's kind of like the sort of the Bible Belt's in and out. Well, this tardigrade is just completely chilling. Where is that little one at? Nematodes. There was that one smaller tardigrade. There's a rotifer. The not alive or suspended animation. Let's see. Should have kept an eye on where it was on the slide. Where's it? Oh, there's something above this. Alright, trying to drive around so quickly so much. Let me go to the NX here, or the 4X rather, and we'll do a quick overview. Okay, there's one. That's the one we were looking at before. Then there's that one, and then wasn't it? They were like right over here. I feel like. I swear, these things, they never cooperate with you. I wanted to see, you know, sometimes when you get like a nice small one, that's good for like checking out anatomy and stuff. Everything's scaled down. I don't think it was this one. Yeah, this one I think is the one we were looking at earlier, and it's just kind of chilling out now. Yeah, because I remember it kind of nudging that little colony of cyanobacteria there. Oh, there's the little one. That one's chilling out too. I swear, this always happens with tardigrades. They are prolific nappers. Unbelievable. Unprofessional, guys. We're trying to do a show here. Well, here's that little tardigrade. That's an interesting, like, there's like a void inside of it there. Wonder if that's the stomach. Let's see, Matt asks, how long can I keep a soil sample with some plant water from my garden in water? I'm a complete beginner, not sure if I'm making good samples. I just have decaying matter in my room. Well, I don't actually do much soil stuff. So I'm a little unfamiliar with like the best way to work with it. Let's see. It's down a little bit. You know, when I do like pond water stuff, usually what I find is that like within a lot of times within a day or two, diversity drops off quite a lot. So I tend to kind of like sample when I can, just try to sample like same day. But for soil, that can be like completely different. I know there's a few, Feisner wrote a lot about how to prep soil for collecting ciliates, but yeah, I'm not sure I can give you like great advice. But you know, I definitely do recommend, you know, just trying a lot of stuff, try a few different things, see what works. You know, at least for what we're doing, it's not like it takes up a ton of space, you know, so you can try a few different things. And this guy's moving again. You can see these little these balls inside of them, those little spheres. Those are essentially like food stores. I don't know if they're like fat necessarily, but yeah, that is stored food energy for the tardigrade. I still can't get over. This is a really nice cyanobacteria colony. I like it. Let's see. Let me try. Go here. And go here. Pull that out. Go to 10x here. Was this? Feels like it's. Oh no, wait, no, I shouldn't be doing that. There we go. Okay. Pretty decent. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Go to 20x here. There you go. Now we're in dark field with the 20x. I think it's kind of, is it munching a little bit? Hard to tell. I don't really see the stylet like poking out too much. It's kind of rooting around here at least. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna pull this out. Pop in my polarizer. We'll try see if we can get anything like this. So this is dark field polarized, but this is with the dark field, a higher numerical aperture dark field. Where's the other ones down there? I don't want to forget this guy. Yeah, I can see here, so I have to expose at ISO 8000 right now, which is like I can start to see some quality degradation here, unfortunately, just in terms of the video quality. Get some color. And 10x, this looks okay. There's another one. Oh, there's the little one's going. It's weird. There was that one a while back, a few streams back, we had a tardigrade that was like, just looked really good in dark field polarized light. It had just like lots of different pretty colors and whatnot. And I guess it just had the right anatomy or what. But these don't look terrible, but they don't really quite, not like the leeches where their bodies are really changing the colors strongly. Hey Ashley, welcome in. Let's see, is there anything else to do with these tardigrades? Probably good with the tardigrades, I think. Let's move on to another Indiana sample. So this is a sample. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's just do regular dark field to start with. This way down. And yeah, so this is a sample. We got ourselves a little ciliate here. At the beginning, I mentioned I collected from a couple places. Oh, we got a rotifer. It's kind of smushed up in here too. Brachionis, I believe. So yeah, I mentioned at the beginning I collected from a couple places while I was in Indiana. And this is a sample from the marshy sort of, it's a forest, it's like a wooded area, very small wooded area that's just low in the ground, and there's sort of like a swamp, and there's lots of like fallen logs. It's a very cool place. I saw some cool frogs when I was squishing around in there. It's also one of those places where if you don't watch your step, you'll sink in like a foot. It would have been really nice to have my like jar on a stick apparatus that I usually have, because I couldn't really get like a great, a really like thorough sample, but I got a good amount. I got this, so it's got these big thick strands of Spirogyra in there. And then we got the always interesting Brachionis rotifers here with their sort of claw-shaped carapace, and sort of like tusks and tooths and whatnot. And then these things have a little, they leave like a little mucus strand, and they sort of do this, which is really interesting because there are ciliates. There's a Urocentrum turbo, which is a ciliate which does like the exact same thing. And of course, this is a multicellular organism, a eukaryote. Ah, yes. Cool. Whoa. And this is something I remember finding. And I saw it. Is it a ciliate or is it a tiny typhloplana? It definitely looks like endosymbiotic algae. Where'd it go? There it is. I think it is a ciliate. Look at this guy. Yeah, this is a ciliate. If it was a worm, I think it would be doing a little bit more with its body. Yeah, with a nice Brachionis rotifer there with a couple eggs, one egg in tow and like one egg inside. You can see the other baby rotifer, the eye down in there. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see the kind of the tusks there at the just at the top of the egg. I don't think I've ever seen a rotifer hatch before. That'd be fun to see sometime. But yeah, that green ciliate is really interesting because I'm familiar with a few ciliates that have endosymbiotic algae. There's a stentor that has endosymbiotic algae, and there's there's a Paramecium bursaria, which has endosymbiotic algae. But this looks distinct from those. It's definitely neither of those. Wow. And then there's a worm, a green worm that has endosymbiotic algae called Typhloplana viridata. But I don't believe that's what this is. Typhloplana is a little hard to identify as a worm because it doesn't have eyes. Normally if you see a couple of eyes at the front of something, then you know it's not a ciliate. Ciliates don't have eyes. I think I can see maybe an oral apparatus there. But yeah, this is just a cool green ciliate that I have not seen before. Rather pretty. Yeah, check that out. Wow. Yeah, there's almost like a belly button on it. I think that's the oral apparatus. Yeah, let's continue looking around here. We have, okay, this is a worm. here. Whoa. That's an interesting one. This one doesn't appear to have eyes. It also has kind of a weird, like, I don't see much of anything on this. But definitely a worm. I don't know. People have asked me before, like, how do you tell if something's a worm versus a ciliate? Because worms often are covered in cilia, and this one is too. But I don't know. Worms have wormy movement. It's one way to say it. You see this one just kind of, I don't know, the way it behaves, the way it contracts and whatnot. See, now this is a ciliate. Looks like maybe a frontinid. Solid ciliate there. Tracking faster and clearer, Ashley says. Well, I'm glad you think so. I haven't really switched anything up. This is the same setup as usual. Yeah, I will say I have had a few people. By the way, I actually I mean to mention this more often. I've had a few people like comment before, like, "Oh, it's a little, it doesn't look that good" or something. Like, and then I find out that folks have been watching in low resolution on YouTube. Like, it doesn't default to good quality. So make sure whatever device you're watching on, if possible, select the 4K stream. Even if you don't have a 4K display, you'll still get a quality bump. Just make sure you're not missing out on the pixels here. We do stream in true 4K 60 frames per second here. So this is a stenostomum worm here. I can recognize the stenostomum because they have a pretty distinct little snout. They kind of have like a schnozzy snout, and you can kind of see there's a little hole just behind the schnoz. There's a little darker spot there, and that's the mouth. When they turn to their side, you can usually, or that's not the mouth, rather. It's like there's like a little kink there before the mouth. And when they turn on their side, you can see that they have like it kind of bulges out from there. They also have two ciliary pits on either side of their schnoz, which allows them to sense movement, I guess. And then you can actually see the mouth there, sort of a mildly vaginal formation on this thing. And stenostomum, they like to snap up rotifers. That's one of their favorite foods. Yeah, this thing is twisted and turned. It actually doesn't have quite the same kind of like belly bulge that a lot of them have, but yeah, definitely stenostomum, or like I think there's like stenostomum's kind of a wide group. There's others that it could be. Let's go ahead and switch into DIC. Change things up a little bit. Bop, 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 bop. And bring this down to there. Go there, and then let's just check our color. Not too bad. Excelente. Yeah, we got our brachionis going along there. Nice Spirogyra. Look at this. You can see the nucleus really clearly inside of the Spirogyra cells. It's kind of inside. It sort of has all these protrusions that sort of anchor itself to the cell wall. And you can just barely make out the mucus thread hanging behind this rotifer here. And there it goes. Let's see, like it re-anchored. It re-anchored itself. Oh, oh, yeah, there it is. And here's one of our ciliate friends. And DIC, you can see the cilia really well, which is always nice. Well, let's poke around. Well, there's on this slide we haven't really looked at yet. Oh, nice Brachionis there, chilling. Ooh, there's a little Piastrum algae. And some more ciliates. Probably Frontonia, if I had to guess. Oh, look at all this, these bacteria swimming around here too. They're kind of concentrated in this one area over here. Interesting. Let's see what more we got. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so here's a nice big Stenostomum worm. Maybe the same one we were looking at before. Now I can see the mouth pretty clearly. Kind of offset from the back there. And these things, I don't know if they would be able to snap up that Brachionis, but they definitely like rotifers. They'd probably eat a lot of stuff. I think a lot of worms, it's like, well, will it fit in my mouth? Then yes, I will eat it. But yeah, I found this tuft of sessilid ciliates here. This little, I call these like pom-poms. Sometimes these can be, these can get so big, these colonies, and they're not Vorticella, I don't believe. I believe Vorticella all have their own little stocks. This is like a colonial ciliate that is similar to Vorticella. Well, definitely related. But these little pom-poms, these, you know, I guess they just anchor on some little piece of debris. I've had those like propagate pretty significantly before, to the point where you can like see them just looking in the jar. You can see just these little puff balls floating around. And then when you get under the microscope, you see they're all these little ciliates. And then these are pretty frequently also, colonies like this will anchor to snails. I've found snail shells are a pretty common sort of haunt for these things. Here with the 20x objective right now. Got this rotifer up in there as well. So you can see So the sheath, there's like you see these stalks, there's a sheath, and then kind of inside the sheath there is like a little bungee cord kind of thing. And the little bungee cord thing is called the spasmoneme. And that is what retracts when these things get spooked. We are maybe evaporating a little bit here. I think we're okay, actually. This is just near the edge of the slide. We could try going to some different moods here. Always been a fan of the orange and purple here. Like a thermal imaging effect almost. It's evaporating slowly. A little bit of evap I don't mind. You can often have the effect of sort of squishing down the specimens a little bit more, kind of keeping them more well behaved. Always fun to check out these little colonies. Hey, Mavis, welcome in. There's a nice little cilia. There. Oh, and our denostomum. I'm curious where that, oh, is this it? Yeah, this is that one worm, I think, that was kind of weird. Maybe it's like a stenostomum that's still forming? I don't know. It's weird, though. There doesn't seem to be, like, any, like, significant structure to it. Like, I don't see, like, a pharynx or something. Like I was saying before, there's the worm Typhoplana iridata, the one that has green, that has the endosymbiotic algae. But that one, when you look closely, you can find like pharynx. This thing almost looks like it has a mouth in the very front of it, which would be weird. Strange little critter there. Oh, dang. Big ol' stenostomum. Favorite to eat around here? Yeah, what a life. Just constantly swirling stuff into your mouth. I want to find that, ooh. Oh, this is an interesting little worm here. This one is getting a little bit squished, it looks like. Having some trouble with locomotion. This one, there they are. Here you can see the eyes. This is an interesting thing in the back here, though. It's an odd, almost looks out of place. Go to the 20x here. But you can see this one like has, like, unlike that worm that we were looking at before, the one that I'm a little confused on, you can see that this one has like a lot of clear internal structure. It's got a big old pharynx here. You know, obvious like organs and you know, complexity going on inside of it. More complex than the stenostomum. It's got the eyes. And you can see it's covered in cilia. Yeah, I recognize this kind. This kind has an interesting, they sort of, when they're free swimming in the petri dish, they have almost like a torpedo shape. So they're flatworms technically, but when they're swimming around, they're more torpedo shaped. This is also the kind of worm that would just like absolutely chow down on a rotifer. Using that big old suction-y mouth that it's got. You can see it's really trying to like swim here. And it's just a little bit confined. Got a nice algae there. Oh. Looking right at us. I think this one has, I think these eyes might be kind of like cup-shaped. Which is a primitive way to sort of improve, to give yourself, a lot of these, like, you know, when we say eyes, really, like, we're just saying, like, oh, well, it's got some light-sensitive spots. You know, they're not, like, complex eyes. But, like, one way to get an eye a little bit more complex is to just have, like, a cup-shaped sensitive area, which gives you a little bit of, like, directional sense. I'm not entirely sure if that's what's going on here, but the eyes have a pretty distinct shape to them. Hey, Donut Hole, welcome in. I'm proud to have given you an existential crisis this evening. Let's go to I get this thing with the 40x here. And really take in its details here. ostrich. Yeah, this thing is weird too at the back here. It almost like it's like a. I'm not entirely convinced that that's supposed to be there, but I don't know. Fun. All right, let's oh, we could take some time. You can watch it in good old Brightfield for a minute. And here it is in Brightfield. Yes. Brightfield. It's always a good way to get a sense of color. Look at that. Actually, you notice like here, you can notice like the very tip of it. It's got that kind of pinkish hue to it. Interesting. Almost looks like blood. Alright, let's poke around some more. Brachionis. Chilling. Let's see. Go to 4x here. Do a little investigation. And oh, look at this. This is a. Oh my gosh. Oh, these ciliates are in trouble. This is where they're all anchored down here, but the water's evaporating away. Oh no. Okay, let's save them here. Where did I get this water from? This is here. Okay, you will add a drop. Boom. Boom. Okay. There we go. We saved him. Stenostomon. And some more of these ciliates. And Brachionis, little ostracod there. Looks like he got squished. Brachionis. So I bet that worm now is feeling a lot more free to swim around. Wherever that thing is. Rotifer. There's that one. Yeah, it's got to just be like a stenostomum that maybe is like still forming its mouth or something. There's our little guy. It's still. This is certainly, I could imagine this worm being interested in that. We'll give it a little bit more water. Yeah, there you go. It's a little more agile now. Yeah, this is definitely kind of worm that would like to slurp up a rotifer. And it's in here with these Brachionis rotifers, and a good chance that that's what it eats. We can do a little bit of phase contrast. I don't think we'll get incredible results with this worm necessarily. Like, it just kind of looks worse. But phase contrast is nice for seeing the little stuff, the little bacteria and whatnot. Interesting, these little things there. Definitely. Interesting little ciliate. Oh yeah, where did that, we never did see that, our green ciliate again. Forgot about that thing. I wanted to see that thing in TIC. We will keep an eye out. Crud here. Ah, yeah, here, these are always fun to look at. There. So this, well, so these are bacteria. Kind of obvious. Little spirochete bacteria. And this is something, you know, a lot of people, this is pretty typical to see. Oh my gosh, well, Brachionis is kind of interrupting my lesson here. But it's pretty common to see when you are doing microscopy with pond water. You'll get these formations of bacteria that they're all running in like a single line. A lot of times they can like stretch all the way around like the slide, and so these bacteria are essentially they like a very specific concentration of oxygen, and so they will kind of hover in areas where the oxygen concentration is just right. It's like the kind of the line that they form. And when they get really long, you can even like You'll see if you have like a bubble on the side of your slide, they'll like follow the contour of the bubble. And it's pretty interesting. There is a specific word for the bacteria that like to have their oxygen be exactly right. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Oh, hey, there's our mystery ciliate. Pop that in. Ooh. Wow, it is so green. To 20x here. Back now. Huh. Like, I wonder if there's a Frontonia that has endosymbiotic algae. It kind of, I don't know, it has a bit of a Frontonia look to it. That weird little like divot there is also just like super interesting to me. Because it's not like, yeah, that thing right there, it's not obviously a oral apparatus, but I also like can't find that freaking oral apparatus here. The worm does not want to bite. Interesting. Definitely a new ciliate for me. New endosymbiotic algae ciliate. Well, that's cool because I remember picking this thing out while I was looking through the stereoscope. I just figured it was going to be like a Paramecium bursaria or something like that. Because I could see it was green, but I couldn't see anything else about it. But it is definitely its own unique little thing. And it's wild how these worms just like, they have a lot of horsepower. They're just stirring up everything. There's that one. Still. Just nothing really to key in on with this one. And there's our pom-pom again. Stretched out, looking good. Okay, well, let's go ahead and switch to our last slide of the night. And this is a slide that is from Santa Cruz Mountains, just a little pond up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, pretty close by. Quick little drive over there. I did use a deep well slide for this one. We got, I don't know if is it, yeah, that's some kind of spider gyre, some kind of very, very spindly spider gyre. Excuse me. And yeah, so with this sample had just a bunch of little like water fleas and whatnot. Here's an example of one, which seems to be more or less just chilling out right now. I'm not sure. They should have, I think, enough space to run around. Are you alive, little buddy? Tap, 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 tap. There's a little, oh, it's a nice little collapse there. All of this algae and whatnot. Ooh, look at this. Oh, that's a cool. I do remember seeing a few of these around. So this is a sessilid ciliate. I believe this is a campanella. So it's a sessilid, but it doesn't have a stalk. And they're usually, I think, larger than like Vorticella, a little chunkier. You can see it's anchored there, anchored back there. I feel like it also, you can see like its cilia, they flip a little bit differently than like Vorticella's. Faint striations on the outside. Oh yeah, and then when they like face you, it can be, I remember I've seen these every now and then. This is like really disorienting. Like hard to tell what's going on. It's interesting, they have like those cilia that go around the outside that don't seem to move as much. Yeah, there's like multiple layers of cilia. I guess that's what we're seeing in this view here. I thought we were just kind of seeing like a frame rate effect, and that might be part of it. But like the way, like how you see all these different, these like at different angles, you see these cilia, and I think there's like a few layers of cilia basically. That's what that is. That's cool. Oh, here is a, it's like a Daphnia here, which is maybe being feasted upon by these smaller ciliates here. Doesn't look particularly alive. It's kind of near the edge too. It's kind of off of the deep well. Something's stirring the water up a little bit. It's not this is like off the slide this way. Oh, hello. Where have you been hiding? Yeah, I do remember putting this guy on now. Yeah, I found just a worm that was very active and like thrashy. Oh, look, it's got eyes. Hey. It's an annelid worm with eyes. That's always fun. Yeah, my color's way off here. All right, Andy, take care. Got a lot going on inside. It's got, you know, almost like the tardigrades. It's got like these little balls inside of it. I wonder if that's the same idea, just some food stores. I'm gonna eat that affiliate. Yeah, this one's pretty big. This one's several millimeters long. That's interesting. Oh, hey, look at this. So I believe I see two eye spots here in the middle of this thing. And so I suspect that this worm is splitting right here. In fact, you can see actually that it's got quite a significant little separation going there. And yeah, I do believe that those are a couple of extra eye spots. Yep, see, just the same. Wow. That's a cool view. Held still for just a second before it... Wow, it escaped me. There it is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There's a little, tiny little rotifer there. And a collapse. I think this is a little piece of pollen here, this weird looking thing. Yeah, it's so neat to see all this stuff going on inside of it, all these little parcels in there. And yeah, the worm in progress back here. Oh, hey. Hey, look at this. Malamonas? Is that what it's called? Yay, look at these. Or what is it? Is it Malamonas? What the heck? Yeah, Malamonas. This chrysophyte here. These things are super cool. Yeah, I might be able to get it with the 40X. It stays put. Yeah. Whoop. Getting bullied by the worm here. These things are super cool. Oh, but it's swimming down. I'm not going to be able to focus on it. It swims down. As this is a deep well slide. Hey, where's it at? There it is. Yeah, it's super deep right now. But yeah, so this is it's a single-celled algae, and it's covered in like scales, and then those scales have these like long spines coming off of them, and then it's got a flagella out at the front. Very interesting organisms. Very, very cool kind of algae. Not something I super commonly see. I have found them once in large amounts at a spring near my place. I actually thought about going there today. Maybe I'll check in on that sometime. All right, Ashley. Have a good night. I do think there was some other stuff on here too. Aside from this beagle worm and that guy. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I put that on here. So yeah, these. I don't know why. You know, there's something about these like water fleas. It seems like they are a little bit temperamental. Like when I deliberately like try to make slides with them, they seem to just die out. This one's still kicking a little bit, but I think it's kind of pinned up here. That one is fully squished. Oh. Well, I seem to recall putting some like insect larvae on this slide. But I don't see them anymore, and I feel like I would be able to see them pretty easily. They're fairly large. try with the 4x here, just to see if I'm somehow missing them. Do my filters. Worm. I know I did. So maybe I made a mistake or something and accidentally knocked him off, or I petted him up after I put him on. Maybe the worm ate him. I don't think it's that big. That's weird. I definitely put those on here. Oh, there's one. Still kicking, little buddy? Just like a chironomid larva. I thought there were two. It's not very active anymore, seems like. Sad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like this, you know, these things, they just don't seem to do well sometimes. Unusual. Well, let's do I'll do a little bit of polarized light here. See how this worm looks. Let's take this guy out, put this guy in. There we go. Oh, not bad. You can see though for sure. If you were here for the leeches earlier, this worm definitely does not have like as complex of like a muscle structure. I suspect that it's more or less like fibers just kind of running in one direction. And so it kind of just has the normal response of like when they're pointed in one direction, they shine one way. The other direction, they shine the other way. It's not like the leeches where just like everything changes and shifts depending on subtle little differences. That's still cool. Oh wow, that whatever's inside of that campanella is quite birefringent. Yeah, and then this midge larva, of course, with its carapace and its musculature, always have pretty good response, but it's better when they're moving around. Ostracod shell, always super bright. And polarized light. Okay. Well, I think I'm actually still a little jet lagged from my trip out to Indiana. So I think I'm going to call it a night here. This was the last slide. Looks like more or less this worm is kind of the main thing here. Yeah, I think we'll call it here. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream this weekend or not. You know, holiday weekend. If I find like a good reason to, maybe I will. And then yeah, I guess the other thing too is like it's starting to become like a season where we actually have some weather here in California. So it's possible there might be some days where it's just like, you know, like weekends where it's like raining a bunch or something, and I'm just not really interested in like going out. So we'll see. We'll kind of play it by ear on continued streams, but I don't think we'll have too much issue in terms of like finding stuff, even while it's winter out here. I think we'll still be okay. But yeah, anyway, I will see you guys again when I see you, and whether that's next weekend or somewhere down the line. So thanks so much for tuning in, and you know, have a happy holiday season and all that stuff.